I will be doing a quick tank review for the Japanese Tier 8 heavy tank, the Oho. The Oho is quite a good vehicle. It have a lot of the same characteristic traits as the Oni. Big, thick armor, relatively decent mobility, a good amount of hit points, while having a choice of two good guns to use to suit your personal preference. The howitzer, with all of the howitzer fun you can have with this gun, or a slightly better 10cm gun. This vehicle, as it is quite big, you will have the gun depression problem with this vehicle, especially in the front heel. The mini turrets here will block the potential maximum gun depression by a bit. So as long as the gun is facing downwards when it's over these two mini turrets in the front and in the rear, your gun depression will be decreased by 1 by whatever the gun depression is for this vehicle is. At a big target, if you are at the wrong place at the wrong time, you can be either killed by enemy tanks or by artillery. Let's cover the vehicle stats now. The vehicle stats. They are good for the most part. Hit points, you have 1,700 hit points. When you combine using the armor effectively well enough, you can ricochet a large amount of damage within a match. This is a heavy tank, so it weighs 120 tons, with all of the advantages and disadvantages of the vehicle being a super heavy tank. That means, with the engine of 1,200 horsepower, you will have a decent horsepower to ton ratio, so the vehicle it is mobile enough. The horsepower to ton ratio, it is 10 horsepower to 1 ton. That means the machine it is mobile enough so you can easily reach the top speed of 25 kilometers when you're on flat terrain, going in a straight line or going downhill only. One thing that I would like to point out is that the side hull armor here, if a round penetrates it, there is a chance for the vehicle to get ammo racked easily enough, the engine getting damaged easily enough, whether it is by artillery or by a enemy vehicle. The crew members and the modules can be damaged easily enough with a well-placed shot to the front to the back rear of the turret area here. That is where the crew members are. The vehicle hull and turret traverse, they are not that good nor bad. It could be better. The hull at 19, turret 20. The armor. This is where it gets to be good if you know how to use the armor effectively well enough. The armor in the front, it is quite thick and it is angled, so different part of the armor, it is effectively 200 millimeters plus. The lower plate here, the enemy tank's gun may have a problem penning this area unless if they can overpenetrate the armor value here. The cheeks here, if you angle them a bit, you can ricochet enemy rounds easily enough. So the armor in the front here, it is effectively 200 millimeters plus when you add the angling adding it on top of it. The mini turrets here have the same armor value as the turret here, so it's 200 millimeters all around. Side of the hull, it is 105. That can be penned easily enough. Rear, it is slightly better, 150. That can be penned easily enough at this tier, but if a round hits the angled part of the armor in the rear here, And here, if you have sufficient amount of angling, you can ricochet enemy rounds easily enough. The turret armor, it is 200 millimeters all around, so if you angle it just by a bit, you can effectively ricochet a large amount of damage within a match. The gun mantle here, it is quite thick, so that is where most of the armor will be on the turret area. The weak spots of the turret area is the machine gun ports to the left and to the right here. They can be penetrated easily enough if you have a high enough penning gun. The capla here can be penetrated easily enough if you have the height advantage with a high penning gun. The top of the vehicle can be damaged easily enough by enemy artillery if you get a lucky shot on a flat part on the top of the vehicle. Well, the armor, it is not that thick. The gun depression, it is 10 degrees downwards and 20 degrees up, so you can hill fight with this if you must. But due to the size of it, you will have a problem hill fighting with this vehicle at times. The mini turrets I mentioned earlier. If the gun, it is over the mini turret in the front here and in the rear, the mini turret will actually restrict the gun depression by a bit. So the gun depression over the mini turrets in the front and in the rear will be a 9 degrees of gun depression downward. To have the 10 degrees, just remember to have the gun to the left or to the right where the mini turrets are not, to have the maximum amount of gun depression in the hole. The gun that I am using, which I like to use still, is the howitzer. The howitzer here, if you have a good crew with the equipment set up, you can have about 4 rounds per a minute with this howitzer. Remember, the main ammo type that you are going to be shooting out of the howitzer here, it is HE and heat. HE, if it does hit something, it's going to be doing a good amount of damage with it, especially with the average damage rolls that you may potentially get if you have a high damage roll with this howitzer. Unfortunately, the accuracy and the aiming time, it is rubbish. The view range, it is okay for this vehicle, 380 meters. When you add in coated optics, binocular telescopes, crew perks on top of it as well, you can easily have the maximum view range in this vehicle. The radio, it is quite good. The radio range, it is at 750 meters. So, for the most part, you will stay in radio contact with the rest of your team. Let's cover the vehicle research part of the video now. The vehicle research is an easy thing to go through as there is very little grinding for you to do. The 3 pieces of equipment that you will have to research to have the machine fully upgraded is the top pair of tracks, the top radio, and the gun that leads to the type for heavy. Let's begin off with the tracks. You can use the first pair of tracks still to mount all of the equipment onto the vehicle without going over the vehicle weight limit. But if you want to have a slightly better hold traverse, get the second pair of tracks, as it increases the hold traverse from 17 to 19. The engine. Use the top engine right away because you would have had researched this already on the OI and the ONI that uses it as well. The top radio. Use this radio right away if you have it unlocked. This radio, you will have to research it if you have not done so already going down the Japanese medium line. You only have one turret to use, so there is no second one to research. Now the guns. You have a choice of two guns to use until you get to the 10 centimeter experimental thin gun Kai. The 10 centimeter gun, it is not that bad nor good if you do not mind using the 10 centimeter gun still. The one gun that I used throughout the entire grind to have the vehicle fully upgraded until I get to the Type 4 Heavy is the howitzer here. The howitzer have howitzer stats. The howitzer here, if you hit something with it, whether it is HE or heat, you will be doing a lot of damage to the enemy vehicle, especially if you can get the round to penetrate the vehicle armor. The heat, remember, if it penetrates the enemy vehicle, you will be doing the full amount of damage with the heat. So it is very important to fully aim at the enemy vehicle so you can use the heat ammo properly to penetrate the enemy armor. Besides that, the main ammo type that you will be using with the howitzer, it is HE. HE, if it hits something, you're going to be doing damage to the enemy vehicle still. The 10 centimeter experimental gun, it is slightly better than the Type 92 here. The experimental gun have a slightly better rate of fire. With equipment and crew perks added on top of it, you can have about 7 rounds per minute with this gun. The pen and the damage, it is better. So this is a viable gun to use if you can actually get the rounds to penetrate the enemy vehicle while making use of the rate of fire that this gun can have. The accuracy and the aiming time, it is the same as the Type 92, so getting precise shots off all of the time will be a problem at times when you're trying to fully aim in with the aiming time of 3.1 seconds. Once you have the experimental gun unlocked, you can work your way to the Type 4 Heavy. To get to the Type 4 Heavy, you will be needing to get 3.7 million credits and 177,000 experience points. Now I will be covering the consumables, the ammunition layout, the equipment, and how are you going to be playing the OHO. Let's begin off with the consumables. I would go with a first aid kit, a repair kit, and a manual fire extinguisher. The other consumables that you can go with if you can afford them, the automatic fire extinguisher for the benefit it does offer you, the large first aid kit, the large repair kit, and the combat rations, the onigiri. If these four, they are a good idea to use them if you have some laying around or if you can afford to use them. The vehicle ammunition total. You have a total of 60 rounds of ammo. That means, for the most part, you will not run out of ammo within a match while using the howitzer. The majority of the ammo that you will be using, it is HE. HE, if it hits something, you will be doing a bit of damage still to the enemy vehicle. Using AP and heat is a good idea still if you can use the ammo to penetrate a thinly armored target at this tier still. AP and heat, if they hit a enemy vehicle and penetrate it, you can do a large amount of damage still. So AP and heat, it is a situational thing if it's going to be useful or not. Heat, if you are going to be using it, it does offer you a increase in the pen over AP. While using it, it will cost you 4,800 credits or 12 gold. Now the equipment that you are going to be using on this machine. Going with the spall liner, it's not that bad of an idea if you want to have a bit more extra protection when it comes to ramming, explosion, and increasing the chance of crew members not getting injured in the process. The vertical stabilizer, if you want to have the gun being a bit more accurate during the tank moving and turret rotation. Vents to improve the crew by 5% while having the tank performance increase by a bit. Toolbox to get your repairs done faster. Large caliber tank gun rammer to decrease the loading time. If you want to decrease the aiming time by a bit, use the enhanced gun lane drive. To increase the view range, you can go with coated optics or binocular telescope. Now, how are you going to be using this vehicle? As a tier 8 vehicle, you will have tier 8 matchmaking from tier 8 up to tier 10. This vehicle, the primary role that you are going to be using the OHO as, you are going to be a frontline heavy tank. Whether it is a very aggressive heavy tank or as a support heavy tank when you're not top tier. This vehicle, if you are on at the right, if you're on the right map at the right time on the correct spot on the map, you can easily hold off many tanks with the support of your team. I have 2 replays to show you how well you can do in the OHO. Let's get to those 2 replays now. This replay, I will show you how well you can do in the OHO when you are using the 10 centimeter gun while you are using the armor effectively well enough to ricochet a large amount of damage whenever you are top tier or not. Let's speed this replay up a bit. I am heading towards the 7-8 line. Now I am at the front line here. I am getting myself into a position where I can shoot at any vehicle that come into the open area here. I am using the terrain here to cover my left side, as the side of the vehicle can be penetrated easily enough. That's T-34, I ricocheted with my round. This round, I make sure that I can penetrate the vehicle while finishing it off with 1 round. The IS-6 here, me and the allies around me finish it off quickly enough. This machine, you can do quite well in it if you are surrounded by allies. If you're by yourself, you may or may not do that well in this machine. This ISU here, for the aim on the ISU, to try to take it out here from this range. The second round did hit. The third shot, I did not know if it hit the vehicle or not. I begin to push into the middle here to get to a flanking position. Seeing the ISU there, the third shot must have had hit it. This is a good moment to pause the replay to show you how well the armor is, how good the armor is, if you angle it well enough. The armor, it is quite thick and it is angled, so if you just angle the armor well enough, in the front and on the side here, by a certain amount of degrees, to the left or to the right, you can ricochet round still with the side armor still. The IS-3 there, I finished it off with the round there. I am requesting aid to finish the IS off. The T-32s, they are having a problem penetrating my front armor because of the angle that I have the armor at. I am angling it to the left a bit, so the vehicles in this area have to use premium ammo to penetrate me or aim at my weak spots. This T-32, once the gun is loaded, I would have had killed it with that round. It hit a angled part of the armor, so it ricocheted off the vehicle armor. The T-32 there, I make sure my round is going to be pending, so I hit the side of the vehicle there in the track area. This is where my usefulness to the team comes to an end. For the 6 kills that I got myself a Top Gun medal, while getting myself a steel wall medal as well. The damage that I did in this replay, I did quite well in when it comes to the damage area. I did about 2,400 damage with a extra 600 damage just from lighting the enemy vehicles up. The amount of damage that I ricocheted as a top tier vehicle was about 3,800 damage. 3,800 damage, that is a lot for a top tier vehicle to ricochet. So I ricocheted about about 2.5 times the amount of hit points that I have. Let's go to the next replay now. This replay, I will show you how well the OHO can perform when it is in a tier 10 match. This replay, I will be showing you how well the howitzer can do still when you are using it on the OHO, while showing you the armor, how much damage you can ricochet when you're in a top tier match, when you have to face off against tier 10 vehicles. Let's speed this replay up a bit. I am heading to the 9 line. The Oho, as in this replay you will be seeing, the vehicle itself, if you can get yourself to a good location here, with the support of your team, you can easily hold a front long enough until the enemy is weakened enough for the allied team to make a push. This front here, I have a few vehicles behind me, with me being on the island here to keep the enemy tanks at bay. The HE round there, I got lucky on the IS there by taking a chunk of hit points off by setting it on fire. With me being in this position here, if the enemy vehicles come out, I have the opportunity to shoot at them with the vehicles around the Allied base area to shoot at them as well. The good thing about the position where I am right now is that they can only shoot my at my front armor. The ISL, I got a lucky shot there, taking a bit of hit points off from the HE round. I am moving back and forth a bit to increase the chance of a ricochet. At this tier, the IS gun have more than enough pen to go through my armor. I wait for the ISU to come out to fire a HE round at it. By now, my team is winning when it comes to the kills, 5-3. With me being on the island here, with the support of my teammates in the back there, I am keeping them at bay here. Once the gun is done loading, I will shoot at this IS there. I didn't do that much damage there, only 53. A hit is a hit. A hit is a hit still. Now the red team is doing their push here. I set that IS-7 on fire there. I am trying to lure them out as once they are out in the open here even more, as they are going to be easy picking for my teammates. I got a bit of damage there on the T-57 just by the HE round alone. I am on no health right now, so these tier 7s can easily kill me if they have a high damage roll. The T-57 there got another hit with the HE round. Now, this is where, with me holding the line here with the help of my teammate, we are going to be doing our push on these tier tons. Once the gun is done loading, I will begin to poke out. That round missed, so I fall back while I am loading. The ISL, it's in cover there, so I cannot shoot at it. With the gun loaded, I am keeping an eye on its IS-7s. I got a lucky shot there, finishing the IS off. Now there are 3 vehicles left, the IS, the T-10, and the object. The ISL is going to be finished off by a teammate. This is where my usefulness comes to a end in this match. This match was a win for us. For the one kill that I did in this match while using the howitzer, I did about 2,100 damage from HE round alone, just from keeping the enemy tank lit up, so the allied vehicles can shoot at the enemy vehicles still. I did another extra 800 damage just from lighting the enemy tanks up. So I did about 2,900 damage. For being a tier 8 vehicle in a tier 10 match, I ricocheted about 2,800 damage. That is pretty good still. Let's go to the garage now to do a brief recap on the OHO. Let's do a brief recap on the OHO. The machine, it is quite good. Once you have gotten used to the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses, if you can get yourself to the correct spot on the map, you can easily do a good amount of damage to the enemy team, whether you are using the howitzer or the 10cm gun. The vehicle itself, if you are by yourself, you can be killed easily enough by a group of enemy vehicles that will be flanking you. The vehicle, due to the size of it, you can be killed easily enough by enemy vehicles or by enemy artillery, so be careful about that. The OHO, this is a very good tank to use when it comes to leading a push, as you have the hit points and the armor to soak up those hits when it comes to pushing a front on a side of the map. The OHO, once you know what you are doing in the machine, it is a good machine to use for a Japanese heavy tank. I hope that you learn a thing or two about how to use the OHO properly. If you like this video, leave a like, a comment, and even follow my channel as well. Good luck on the battlefield, everyone.